Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Also available wherever fine podcasts are available, including the iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and of course at SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Steve and Larson. Not
On Spotify.
on Spotify yet. Interesting, fun trivia fact about Going In Raw, Larson. We can't figure out Spotify. I'm sure if I sat down with it for a little bit, if I gave it a stern talking to, I might be able to figure out Spotify.
Well, I don't think if you gave your computer a stern talking to, it'll make any difference.
Do this. I'll do some finger wagging at it.
I don't think it matters, man.
No bueno? No bueno?
Doesn't matter.
My goodness. We're also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. If you'd like to support the show, we have many different reward tiers. We kind of need to update those a little bit.
Oh, yes, we do.
I feel they need some refreshing.
Yeah.
They need to be refreshed a little bit. We're so damn busy these days.
I know. We keep doing more and more and more and more and more.
Right now, we have 42 $5 and up.
Oh, wow.
$5 reward tier members. Some
And
of them
up.
might and
up.
up. Some of them might be more. No, none of those $1. I love the $1 guys.
Yeah.
I love the $1. They get once a month.
Yeah.
This is for the $5. They get every week.
Every week.
One live stream, us recapping Raw. That's what they get.
Mm-hmm.
And they like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit here and they talk with us
Mm-hmm.
before the episode and after the episode. They get a special insight. Stephen Larson.
I guess that's all correct.
We're also, of course, at ProWrestlingTees.com/Going In Raw. Neither of us are wearing a shirt from our Pro Wrestling T-shirt right now. We probably should do that. What are you wearing right now?
I got my Mass Effect shirt on.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We don't do the gaming stuff anymore, man. Come on.
It's a comfy shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Who are you?
cold.
Yeah, I turn the heat off because it always gets warmer in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, under these
Due to the lights.
these lights here.
now I'm
So, anyways, yeah, great shirts over there at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yes.
And I guess that's it. We should start talking about wrestling at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raw!
Oh, you know what? A lot of people want to just real quick. A lot of people were hitting me up on Twitter because we pulled our episode of Countout for the top 10 championships, top 10 wrestlers who won the most championships.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, are you guys okay about that?" You know, people are concerned that there was some controversy.
No,
Well, we haven't done it before, so I get that they would say.
Yeah.
Like that.
It was, we did it. We put it up. In hindsight, we're totally happy with it.
This was honestly, this is the biggest thing. Jerry Lawler wasn't on there, and we did a lot of research.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where something so blatantly obvious escaped us somehow.
Yeah.
And he had won, didn't you say like 200 titles or something?
Yeah,
like that?
by one calculation I made, it's 201 belts.
Yeah, and one of those belts he won like 52 times.
Yeah.
And it was obviously like the Jerry Lawler Memphis belt.
Yeah.
So it was, we were at that point, if he would have been like numbers 6 through 3, then it would have been like, okay, well, whatever. But literally like the most winningest guy in the history of the business.
Yeah.
Was left off, and we were like, number one, we weren't entirely happy with our energy and our flow during the episode, and at that point we're like, you know what, we can only allow a certain amount of quality drop, before we're like, let's just take it down. It remains, if you guys want. It remains on the
audio version.
The audio version is still up. If you guys want to check it out in its entirety, we invite you to go to iTunes or wherever fine podcasts are available.
Yeah.
And check it out there or in SoundCloud, I think.
And maybe at some point in the future we'll revisit it. Find a different...
Yeah, we have a couple ideas.
A more energetic take on the material. And I think that was kind of the thing.
It was just like dry numbers.
Yeah.
It was just like, this guy won 42 belts. Okay, cool.
And if we could find interesting stories
about
their various title wins.
Right, exactly.
To make it a little more interesting, other than just kind of reciting numbers.
Right, exactly. So all good stuff, no controversy. It was just sometimes it's not all going to be gold. You guys probably know we've been producing a bit more content these days. So that just there's nobody else in here. Sometimes a joke that Hilton's back there. He's actually not. He's got a full-time job. He's got a full slate, too.
Yeah.
So it's just us. We're producing content, and it's not always going to be gold. Sometimes we're going to get up here on this table here. I love this bar table right here.
The legs need to be tightened up.
A little bit.
It's a little
bit. Well, it's unpredictable. That's good. So we get up here, and it's not always going to be gold. Anyways. Raw. Wait, hold on. Before Raw, my goodness. First story. Big story.
It was also part of Raw, so we can...
Big news.
Okay.
It was announced on Raw.
Actually, it was announced before that on Twitter. Kurt Angle is coming back to the WWE. I could not be more excited.
I am very excited about this. So late yesterday, just as we were up, literally, Newsplex was uploading.
It had just finished uploading, and you turned towards me.
And I said, Larson, Kurt Angle inducted to the Hall of Fame 2017. And what did you say?
It's true. It's damn true.
No, you said, is that confirmed?
Oh, yeah.
Because you always want to know if it's confirmed. I'm totally cool. Just going any small little rumor that I hear on Twitter, I'll put it out there with no sources whatsoever. But you have to keep me in check. You have to make sure, hey, you know what?
Integrity,
intensity, and intelligence.
We must abide by the 3 I's. Steve.
It was ESPN, and they obviously WWE told them.
Later on, WWE officially confirmed it before Raw. But on Raw, they had a great video package.
Yes, they did.
It was fantastic. It got me really hyped. Steve, let me ask you this.
Yes, I was going to ask you the same question. Go ahead.
Are we going to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony this year?
Oh, we kind of have to now, right?
I would think so.
Do we? Or are we going to kick back? At some point, I wouldn't mind watching one. I know that there's going to be so much stuff there. At one point, I wouldn't mind just kicking back with like a beer and watching one of these shows, either from our Airbnb or go to down to where if there's like a bar where we know there's going to be like wrestling things happening, do that. Mix it up with the real people.
We'll need to research a little bit then.
Let's research that.
Okay.
We're good at
We
that.
have till Friday because Hall of Fame tickets go on sale. It's Friday.
All right.
Do we know
how much they are?
No.
Okay.
I can look, though.
All right.
Kurt Angle, the first item I ever bought off WWE Shop back then was called Shop Zone.
Yeah.
WWE Shop Zone was a Kurt Angle shirt.
Yeah.
His first shirt. I was a huge Kurt Angle fan, so I'm very excited that he's back in WWE.
Kurt Angle was immediately ready for prime time.
Oh, yes.
It was scary how good he immediately was in all aspects of it. His promos were top notch, his charisma's off the charts, and his wrestling ability and his ability to tell a story in the ring almost immediately was top notch.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, he was.
And then he went to TNA, and I believe, and it's on one hand, from a wrestling fan's perspective, it's kind of a bummer that he was in TNA for as long as he was and he didn't come back. But on the other hand, he's been open about his issues with addiction. Mm-hmm. And, that's the one thing about the TNA schedule is that it is a lot lighter.
Oh, yeah.
You can still make good money and not when they're paying and not have to travel as much. You can have a homestead, a home base, basically.
I mean, I think they take 1 week a month, TNA does, to shoot their TV.
Right.
For either a month or 2 months. So that's, he spends 1 week in Orlando shooting his TV for 1, 2, maybe 3 months, and then just go home for the rest of the time.
And quite frankly, more than anybody else, he was able to at least make something out of TNA.
Yeah.
When he was there and when it was at its hottest, when it was him and then Steiner came in, and of course we had Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. They were building all those guys up, and then Sting was in there.
Bobby Roode.
When you had, and then Nash and Hall, Hall was there for a while, but I don't know the exact order of things. But I do remember having some interest in it. And it was just a matter of, they would schedule it and reschedule it. And I never knew exactly when it was going to be on.
And they would change networks and stuff like that.
It was kind of pre-DVR a little bit, I think. Maybe the TiVo wasn't around or some shit like that. But it just wasn't, hell, I'm not even sure I was watching WWE on a regular basis when that was hot. But he was there for a long time.
Yeah.
And he really did his damn. He did better. If Kurt Angle couldn't make your company a success, nobody could. Because Hogan came in after him, and the whole place sort of got torpedoed because of that. And so Kurt Angle, like, while it's a bummer, like, the WWE schedule is so tough.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the few things that I've heard about Kurt Angle in terms of, like, personal experience, like, you know, Hilton got to meet him for when he came to Arco.
Mm-hmm.
And he said just the absolute nicest guy.
Yep.
Like, really, really stayed much longer than he was required to contractually to sign every single autograph. Just really cool to everybody. So there is nobody more deserving to be in the Hall of Fame than Kurt Angle.
And he was on Stone Cold's podcast once, and it was excellent.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was great.
Really good episode.
So, you know, intensity, intelligence, and integrity. Yeah. So I mean, but this begs the question. This is the big question here.
Is he going to wrestle again?
Is he going to wrestle again?
I'd like to hope that he'll have one more match in the WWE. Typically, I guess when stars get inducted into the Hall of Fame, it means their in-ring career is wrapped up.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool at WrestleMania for him to have one more match.
Let me ask you this, because we sort of say that, but it's always been kind of happenstance also. Like, for example, Sting is the big example we take away, but when Sting went into the Hall of Fame, he was done by necessity, and we're still not even 100% sure that he's done. If he hadn't suffered that neck injury in his match with Rollins, I don't think he would have. I think he still would have been inducted, and he still probably would have wrestled after that.
Potentially.
And so I think it's completely likely, because I mean, Kurt Angle has said, you know, up within the last 12 months, he's been like, yeah, I've been talking to people about coming back, and it's never been, I've been talking about coming back for the Hall of Fame. I've been talking about, you know,
coming back for more matches.
For more matches. So I'm not even saying like one more match. I think it's very likely we're going to get a couple more matches.
Well, it was a year or two ago. He talked about his negotiations with WWE, and the problem then was that they wanted him back on a full-time, more or less, schedule.
Right.
And he wanted something more like the Brock Lesnar schedule.
Yeah.
So maybe they reached an agreement where he comes back, gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, wrestles at WrestleMania. Maybe he wrestles 2 or 3 matches a year, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he feels and WWE feels comfortable doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's just good to have him back.
Do you think we're going to see him at WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
in a match.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so too. Begs the question: who's he going to find?
Rusev.
There you go. Who doesn't want to see that?
I know.
Oh my God, that'd be perfect.
I know.
I didn't even think about that. You know why I didn't think about that, man? Because they have him buried in a freaking pre-show feud right now.
I know.
Let's talk about Raw. I was not impressed, man. Like, we went from the highest of highs talking about Kurt Angle. I'm not going to say this is the lowest of lows, because
there were some fun moments.
I don't know. You know, it's so weird with Raw. Raw is one of those weekly commitments. You watch it for 3 hours, and a lot of it kind of depends, unless they really hit it out of the park. A lot of it just kind of depends on your own mood.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit tired yesterday.
Yeah, I was too. And I started really late.
Yeah, and so like lately, I've been a couple of nights. It's sort of by necessity. I've been staying up late, and so I think I was just tired, and so. But then when I look at this rundown here, there was.
Well, the opening segment was good. It was fun. It
was fun. Although, okay, so it opened up with Roman Reigns coming out, dropping a promo, and he seems completely cool about the fact that he lost his United States Championship.
He seems very understanding about the situation. He said, I was in the Shield. You know, we would come in and triple team people and beat them up. So I understand. That's more or less what he said.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't want my wrestlers to have perspective. Okay? I want my wrestlers to want everything.
Yeah. No,
I don't want somebody to come out and say...
You can have perspective and still want your title back. He can say, I've been on the other side of that. I've been in a situation where I've been part of 2 or 3 people, dominating, 1 or 2 individuals.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation. Now, being on the other side of it, I know how it feels. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I want my belt back.
Yeah.
There's perspective, but still the drive to reclaim his title.
I feel like, we talk about Kurt Angle, intensity, intensity.
But
he needs those 3 eyes.
But what I told you when we were texting last night was, he says that because he knows he's getting that Universal title at the Rumble.
No, I know, but therein lies the problem.
I know. They're telegraphing something.
They're telegraphing this shit out of that. And it's like, no, he should be rage-filled. He should be so upset.
He should be demanding his rematch immediately.
I mean, you know what? If not... Okay, so if we don't get him being intense about it, at least keep it real and go out there and say, look, you guys saw how I carried that thing around. It's second place. And this guy ain't second place.
Yeah.
I'm aiming for the top, baby.
Yeah.
At least be honest about it. He's like, look, U.S. title, doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Universal title, that's what I'm going for.
U.S. title was a stepping stone to
Exactly.
Universal title.
Yeah,
Something like
that'd
that.
be great if you went completely off script and was like, if you look at the history,
Just
of
try to bury the U.S. title.
yeah, if you look at the history of secondary belts, this is typically you lose it to somebody and then you move on to the next title, and so that's where I'm headed.
So this
to.
is the time-honored tradition that I am following here. In this example, I dropped the mid-card belt to get the main event belt.
He just outlines wrestling conventions. Then he was interrupted by Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
He comes down and then he starts talking, and he says Brock is here tonight. So why exactly he didn't come out at that moment, I'm not sure. Roman Reigns starts to. I wish everybody would just hit Paul Heyman when he came out. That'd be great because he talks so much shit, and then he says, "Oh, but I'm just the advocate." So Roman Reigns is about to threaten him.
And then Owens and Jericho come out.
Yeah. And they say, and once again, Y2J reiterates, once I win the Royal Rumble and Kevin Owens retains his Universal title, the best friends.
No, that's not what he said. He said, once I win the Rumble, it's guaranteed that we are still Universal Champion. He didn't say anything about Owens necessarily retaining at WrestleMania.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. At the Rumble.
Yeah.
At the Rumble, it'll guarantee that we will still be. You're right. Yeah.
And Owens kind of, gave a
he gave
a kind
sideways
of questioning glance.
Then out came Rollins. It's all the same guys every week. Then out came Rollins, and he had some words. He says, "I want that." Okay, can we just talk about this really quick?
What?
On Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Seth Rollins said, "Interesting," in response to Triple H, a picture of him getting on a plane,
Saying that he was going to get to Raw. Why wasn't there a whole thing backstage last night of him searching the area, the whole arena, for Triple H?
Like, what the hell? You know what's funny about that? I didn't remember that until this morning. I was rewatching like some of the stuff, and I was like, wait a second, that's what was missing. I was expecting Triple H to show up. But I guess
at least for some storyline.
At least
revolving
Rollins, I know exactly.
Revolving around that Twitter exchange.
The least that could happen is Rollins would go talk to Stephanie or Mick or somebody, and they weren't there, so that's not a terribly bad thing. But maybe he could be like checking his phone, like flight statuses. I mean, I know Triple H takes a private jet, but whatever. I don't know. He could have been doing something. Oh, Triple H isn't here. Okay. But instead, completely
just
didn't talk about it. Yeah, completely no-sold it. Then Braun comes out, and then he looks menacing. And then, of course, the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, came down.
So everybody starts fighting. Through the crowd comes Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn's like the new homeless Joe. He comes through the crowd all the time now. Sami Zayn came down, and there was a couple really cool storytelling moments here. We had
the showdown between Lesnar and Zayn was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That.
Crowd pop for that. Lesnar Braun, of course, the crowd pop for that big time. I think that Braun's going to be Lesnar's contract is up in 2018, and I'm sure he'll probably re-sign because he likes money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're really grooming Braun to be their full-time Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
like I could totally see that.
Well, throughout this,
I could see Braun being the guy taking the streak off of Lesnar. Man, God, maybe Samoa Joe.
Throughout this whole show, they are telegraphing completely that it's going to be Reigns Strowman at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So Strowman is the odds-on favorite, heavy favorite right now. I think
to
win the Rumble.
Really quick. There's been several instances in social media that we've noticed. Our friend Brian Zane, one of them, a couple weeks said this is a really stacked Rumble. It's very unpredictable. Who is it? WrestleZone, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, said basically the same thing. Is it us? Are we not seeing something?
Maybe
it's gonna be Braun. As soon as we receive, or look, we said it was going to be one of three people, right? We said it was going to be Braun, Taker, or Jericho.
And once Jericho won the U.S. title,
that immediately was eliminated.
Took him out of contention. Once there was reports that the Undertaker-John Cena match was scrapped for WrestleMania.
Took him out of contention.
Seemed like it.
Yeah. That leaves Braun Strowman. Nobody else is going to win this thing.
Well, everybody else that was in the ring last night. Sami Zayn.
No, he's not going to. Was he going to face Roman Reigns?
It'd have to be Owens. Owens would have to retain.
It would have to be Owens, but are they going to tell that story again? I feel like they've told that story already.
It feels like it's too soon.
It does. Like they're not building that up really. And even last night, Sami Zayn was kind of a comedy act.
Yes.
And he was in the main event. I'm not going to say he got buried. He just did the Sammy thing where he gets beat up a lot.
Yeah. Lesnar and Goldberg are going to take each other out.
They're going to fight it. Exactly.
They're going to take each other out. Rollins, Triple H is going to screw him.
Yes, exactly.
Jericho, since he's the U.S. champion, he's not going to win.
I think him and Owens are going to be fighting for the U.S. belt at Mania.
Yeah.
That seems to make perfect sense.
As far as people on SmackDown, I don't even think they've really done much to hype up.
They haven't.
Apart from Baron Corbin saying he was
Baron Corbin
the
declared
Rumble.
there is not a chance in the world he's going to win the Rumble.
No.
Not a chance.
By all indications, Finn Balor's not going to be healthy enough to compete.
Right.
Granted.
He's kind of the X factor.
That could all, be a smokescreen. But
yeah. I'm waiting for somebody. I flipped over to chat to see if anybody here has any other ideas. And
I mean, it is, in terms of talent, it is a stacked Rumble. There's a lot of good talent in it.
No, there's a lot of great talent in it.
But
But
in terms, I don't. I guess it could be unpredictable in the sense that they're so obviously setting up Strowman as the winner.
Yeah.
That if it doesn't happen, it's going to be shocking.
Yeah.
But it
Alex C says Joe. A couple people say Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is a possible. Joe is a big time wild card. What have we said about Joe? If Joe wins the Rumble, who's he? He's got to go to SmackDown, right? SmackDown needs Joe.
Yeah, SmackDown does need Joe. So it'd be Cena, Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Boy, I'd love to see Finn versus Taker. That'd be great.
I don't know who else Undertaker would face apart from Finn.
Yeah, I know.
If things kind of happen as we suspect they will.
I know. So I don't know. I mean, for our money, I can't see anybody but Braun. I mean, what are these? Is it gonna be Sheamus again? Is it gonna be Cesaro? No. Is it gonna be anybody in the New Day? No. It's gonna be Braun. Roman's gonna win the title at the Rumble, and then Braun and Roman are gonna face off. Braun is. They've telegraphed this completely. And you know what? These are good storylines to go into Mania.
Yeah.
These are all matches that make sense.
Yeah.
They have all the pieces for shit that makes sense.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But, they do things like in this opening segment last night, tease Lesnar and Braun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even Sami Zayn and Lesnar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure throughout the Rumble match, they'll be teasing a lot more storylines, potential storylines.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, it just, based on how things are being booked, it makes the most sense.
I mean, there's nothing obvious. I mean, this is completely obvious. There's not a lot of ambiguity there. Moving on to the pre-show feud. Rusev and Jinder Mahal took on Enzo and Cass because Enzo now is sans a wheelchair. That's a bummer to me. I was really hoping he would stick with that wheelchair.
It looked like he was kind of limping a little bit when he came out.
Oh, did it?
But maybe that was my imagination. I don't know.
Honest, man, I kind of tune out Enzo these days.
We have some questions about that. People are kind of growing bored of Enzo and Cass.
They're being wasted right now.
Yeah,
it's
if they have something good to work with.
It's so weird because I love Rusev and I love Enzo and Cass and they're in a feud together, but it means absolutely nothing and it's over absolutely nothing.
And I think that's the thing. It's a meaningless feud.
Daivari took on Lindsay Dorado and Jack Gallagher was on commentary to talk about their upcoming forfeit match tonight on 205 Live.
Yeah.
That should be a doozy.
That'll be good.
Be a fun one.
Yeah, they've done a good job of building up the story.
Mm-hmm. I like that they're just making Gallagher kind of a dick.
I know.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
What's up with that? Him and the New Day, kind of assholes. But they're like supposed to be the good. I'm supposed to root for these guys.
I know.
They're kind of assholes. I am now firmly on Daivari's side of things. And I've always been on Titus's side of things. I love Titus.
Yeah, Titus is great.
Get him in a bit. Nia Jax, they showed some footage of Sasha Banks running the ropes.
Trying to get clearance from the medical staff. So you just splash water all over your face?
Has insane kickback.
That's interesting.
Yeah, splashes me.
So Sasha is running the ropes, and out of nowhere, Nia Jax comes in and just lays waste to her leg.
Just completely destroys her.
Did you see Tony Nese and Drew Gulak hanging out ringside?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's great. People just milling about. Milling about people. Let's see here. I like that. That's good. Cesaro and Sheamus took on the Club.
This was a good match.
This is a good match, and the Club got screwed out of.
How many times have we seen a match where the ref gets knocked out, a new ref comes in, counts the pinfall, and that decision stands?
Yeah, I know. What are the odds that the Club are going to get these titles at the Rumble.
How many times have we said, "Oh, the club's getting those titles at this pay-per-view," and it doesn't happen?
Okay, but here's the thing, though. We also said originally, and I know I waffled on this. We also said the club were going to win the titles as soon as the New Day broke the record.
Yeah,
and that didn't happen. Or no, we said the New Day were going to drop the titles. We didn't anticipate. I don't think anybody anticipated Cesaro and Sheamus happening. They dropped the titles. Do you think this might hasten your prediction that Cesaro and Sheamus are going to have a blow-off match? Or they're hot right now. They're hot as a tag team. Why would they get rid of that?
But part of the reason they're hot, though, is the dynamic between them. I think where Cesaro is pretty over face, and Sheamus, despite his affiliation with the pretty over face, still fairly disliked.
Yeah, but people like this. They like the duo.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they like the duo.
It depends.
Sorry, I completely tuned out for your first clause. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was staring at that Nike box over there. I don't know why. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, no, me too. The whole intro of the show, half the time.
So much trouble with Lacey sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like she'll start talking, I'll start zoning out. I think it just happens in marriages, though.
I think it just kind of happens. Period.
Anyways,
now I lost my train of thought. Oh, both Cesaro and Sheamus are in the Rumble.
I wouldn't necessarily preclude them.
No, it wouldn't from defending the titles, but
it makes it unlikelier, I guess.
Well, not necessarily. I'm just trying to think in terms of storyline. Like, say they drop the belts, there's some added dissension between them, and then one of them eliminates the other from the Rumble. And then, the breakup starts, and they have their blow-off at Mania.
Let me ask you this.
Possible.
What's the New Day going to do at Mania? I feel like they're being fast-tracked for some sort of celebrity thing. Like, at this point, they kind of feel like the tag team of like, what Rusev kind of is now, where he deals with celebs. Mm-hmm. Or even Big Show. I feel like the New Day are kind of at that level where they're kind of above the belts in that respect, but I don't know what they could do.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do either.
I feel like they're going to do something with The Rock. I feel like The Rock has probably put in a call. I want to work with the New Day. I could see them doing something with The Rock, I'm telling you.
Do you think they might get another match for the tag championships at WrestleMania against the club?
I don't know, man. I would think they're going to go with the hot hand with Cesaro and Sheamus right now. It wouldn't surprise me if they dropped the titles sometime between like here and the Rumble, and then we got a rematch from the club and Cesaro and Sheamus at Mania. And then the New Day would do some. The New Day don't, at this point, they don't need the titles, and it seems like they don't even care about the titles. They're looking at the Universal title.
Yeah.
As of last night, anyways.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do something silly that is completely like nobody gives, like it doesn't matter. I think they're in the it doesn't really matter phase right now, and then maybe after Mania they'll refocus.
That could be.
They had those titles for so long, they can let somebody else run with it. But I think we're going to get a club. I know we've said this, but we also said that the club is going to get their title reign shortly after the New Day, like either from the New Day. I think that's going to happen. Then we got the Jimmy Snuka Memorial. There was lots of people didn't know. Were they going to do a video package for Snuka? They definitely seem to be firmly saying we appreciate his career. Mm-hmm. Which, like we said yesterday in Newsplex, it's a complex issue. They decided to do that. So good. He had a good career.
He did have a good career in wrestling.
Yeah. Let's see here. We had. What do you think about this segment where everybody wants to be part of the Shield, man? Everybody wants to be in. Stephanie wanted to be in it. Now Sami Zayn was backstage with Reigns and Rollins, and he was getting all hyped up. He was giving the game plan. And
yeah, I appreciate Sami's performance.
Correct. Yes, me too.
He was all in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really liked it though.
Yeah. Me neither. I thought it was a bit too goofy. I thought the direction was. I think they could have gone. This is nitpicking. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they could have gone in a direction that would have made it much more entertaining, like legitimately funny. I think it could have been legitimately funny as opposed to kind of cute.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be a negative Nelly. These are critiques.
Yeah.
It's critiques.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Next, we were supposed to have a match between Tony Nese and Rich Swann.
But Mean Neville came down.
God,
I love Neville. I love Neville so much.
He's great.
You guys want me to say something positive about the show?
Neville.
Mean Neville. Then he gets on the mic. Did he get on mic last night? Yeah. I love his promos. in this bunch of hypocrites in this country.
He's so good.
He's so good. They've been sitting on this talent. Where has this been? He's been in the freaking main roster for, 4 years now?
Oh, I don't think it's been that long. 2 or 3.
3 years now?
Maybe. Wait, how long has Kevin Owens been on the main roster? 2? So about the same.
Oh. Same?
About the same.
I thought he was there like a year before Kevin
I don't
Owens.
think it was a year before.
Really?
Maybe a handful of months.
Okay. My goodness gracious. They've been sitting on that for too long. Then the New Day come out. And they talk about having their eyes on the Universal Prize.
Yeah, they said if one of them wins the Rumble, and if they go on to WrestleMania and one of them wins the Universal Championship, then they will all be Universal Champion.
Yeah.
Applying the Freebird rule to a traditionally singles title.
Yeah.
Which I think would be fun.
No, I think it'd be great. Never going to happen, but it would be great.
Titus comes out
Yes.
and says, I don't want to join the New Day. I want to replace him. He wants to take one of their 3 spots in the Rumble.
Yeah, perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity to have it. He's lost to Kofi Kingston. He's lost to Xavier Woods. And this is a perfect opportunity for the New Day, again, to show some complexity in losing against this guy that they're mocking. They're basically bullying him. And what happens? Big E wins cleanly. I have this has to end with Titus having some sort of in the mind of whatever agent or Vince. Do they think that the New Day are the faces here? I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they're that tone deaf.
Yeah.
I think they're that blind.
Yeah.
Because they're acting like assholes. And Titus is just trying to get an opportunity for himself.
I know.
And he comes out with confidence and swagger and says, I'm going to take one of your spots.
Yes.
There's 3 of you. We don't need all of you. You're taking up, number one, putting all 3 members of the New Day in there. It should only be Kofi Kingston, to be honest with you, because he always does his cool Rumble spot.
Yeah.
Should only be him. And you're eliminating 2 possible surprise entrants, which
Yes.
is all we care about with the Rumble. Okay.
Well, it's not all we care about.
Not all we care about.
It's just one part that we care about.
They need John Morrison needs to come in.
That'd be
Just for
cool.
one appearance.
That'd be cool.
Call him Johnny Mundo.
Well, they can't do that.
Well, no, I'm saying do a joint venture, Lucha Underground.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You get your cool moment.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but man, it could. It should. Anyways,
Probably won't, though.
no, definitely not. Not probably. Definitely.
So next we had Charlotte coming out. This whole
Oh
segment,
my God! But this is like a 3-hour segment unto itself.
This whole segment was billed as Charlotte sharing her winning strategy for winning championship matches at pay-per-views because she's won 15 in a row, something
all
like that.
she did was run down Bailey.
Yeah,
She
there was
showed,
no talk of strategy whatsoever.
showed clips from Breaking Ground and showed a poem that she wrote.
Yeah,
And then somebody, I think, was heckling her in the crowd or something, and it sort of jarred her a little bit. She called some guy Poindexter. Usually I'm like Charlotte's biggest fan. I'm like her biggest backer, but this was just poorly done from start to finish. Like from creatives, from whoever in creative thinking about this,
yeah.
to it being executed, it was not good. Bailey kind of helped a little bit, but
Well, she came out with energy and passion.
she came out with energy. But even when I was watching her, I was like, I know she's doing what she can with this. And kudos to her for memorizing those little poems that she made up to clown Charlotte. And she has total command of the arena.
Yes.
But I feel like even Bailey, the one person who just is living their dream, even Bailey was like, I feel like everybody could do better here. That's how I feel like that's what her thought process was. She was probably like, they were telling her about this. Yeah, and then you're going to come out and do some poems. And she was like, all right, well, okay. Sounds fine, whatever. So anyways, then we had a pretty funny segment with Jericho, Owens, and Strowman backstage. Looked like Jericho wanted to laugh. It was good.
Yeah.
I like this stuff.
Yeah.
Then we had Cedric Alexander.
Well, they were going to Strowman saying, hey, here's our strategy for
and they're just doing their own
match
agendas.
tonight.
Yeah.
And then Strowman says, I do what I want to do when I want to do it, essentially.
Yeah. Let's see here. Then we had Brian Kendrick versus Cedric Alexander.
This is a really good match.
Yeah, no, this is a really good match. And then we got some shenanigans from Alicia Fox trying to help out And Cedric was like, "Why are you out here? We had our blow-off match at 205 Live. We had our blow-off conversation at 205 Live.
Yeah.
I broke up with you.
That's that.
That's that."
Then,
but meanwhile, Noam Dar was backstage watching TV. Ooh.
But then was it Alicia or Cedric at the end of the match, Alicia gets in the ring after Cedric wins.
Yeah.
Via lumbar check.
Yes.
Which is a great move. Fantastic move.
That was a great move.
So they talk a little bit, and then Cedric looks at Alicia and goes, "Okay.
Yeah.
All right."
Yeah.
And then they approach each other to hug, and then Cedric ducks under.
Yeah.
Leaves the ring.
Yeah.
No hug.
Good job. Yeah.
It was good.
It's funny when you said ducks under in my head. I was like, wait, he didn't go into the ring. That'd be kind of funny, though.
He ducked under the hug.
If he goes for the hug and then he ducks and
Just rolls out of the ring, goes under the ring.
Goes under the ring, yeah.
And then comes out the other side of the ring.
Like AK trying to roll out of the ring and not being successful about it. God damn it, that was funny. By the way, big announcement for Steve W. I'm getting rid of the VHS filter.
Thank you.
The comments were just littered with people like, this is a headache.
It makes the game harder to play.
Which is not what we want to do.
No.
Oh, man. All right. Alicia Fox. Oh, no,
you missed
Nia
something.
Jax gave an interview. Didn't watch this, to be honest with you.
Oh, it was fine.
Didn't watch this.
It was good.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
And then Alicia Fox gave an interview.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw this. This was kind of amusing because she like went into rage crazy mode. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Then we had the main event. Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman, Chris Jericho versus The Shield and Sami Zayn.
This match had some kind of fun moments here and there, but I didn't even think it was that engaging.
It's kind of just what we expect at this point. I just feel like it's just sort of filler leading to the Rumble, and the Rumble's still 2 weeks away.
I mean, pretty much, apart from there was a moment in this match where Reigns and Strowman were kind of face to face, right?
Yeah.
Apart from that, there really wasn't much in terms of developing stories for the Rumble.
Yeah, I know.
And that's not even for the Rumble. That's for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was what it was. It ended with chaos. Kevin Owens did end looking strong, though. He powerbomb Roman Reigns through that the announce table.
Oh, yeah. But Strowman picked up the win for
He
his
picked up
team,
the win.
pinning
Power
Sami Zayn.
slam Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny too, man. I made this joke on Twitter last night, but like we got 2 tweets from @RealGoingInRaw or at that Twitter address. That's where we live tweet from. And one person said, "With them burying Sammy so hard these days, something." And then somebody else said, "Man, they're really pushing Sammy or something." And I was like, "You guys are absolutely exhausting." I hope nobody took offense to that. I should have done like a winky face. Because it absolutely exhausting. Like, one man's burial is another man's push.
I know.
That is the interesting story of Sami Zayn. Because I can kind of see it both ways.
Yeah,
he gets murdered, but yet he's in the main event scene.
Yeah, but then you look back at his WWE career going back to NXT, and that's just kind of his story.
Right, I know, exactly. So,
by and large. So, uneven episode overall.
Yeah, more.
A couple decent moments.
Yeah, I don't know.
But not much story development overall.
I was not inspired. I don't think it was a very inspired episode. Let's get to, we got
some packages.
How many questions did we have on our Patreon?
Over 100.
Over 100. We chose the 33 best.
Yeah.
We scoured. But first we're going to open some packages. You guys, hopefully a lot of the stuff is for our Newsplex set, which is our Monday short recap show. And so people are sending us stuff. You guys can send us stuff at P.O. Box 1814, Orangevale, California 95662. It's in the description.
This is from Nathan Ragland.
Okay, he gave me that great Magnum TA shirt. This one here is from Liam Wagner. What?
Here, I want you to open that up.
Oh, man. What is this? Oh, that is rad. That is so stinking cool.
Oh, man.
Look at that. BigPapaPump.com. That's a Scott Steiner shirt, baby.
That's hilarious.
That is fantastic.
Oh, man. Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
That's
that
incredible.
Is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Nathan
so much.
Ragland
That's
coming
awesome.
through. That's going on the set, and this is going on my booty. Oh, that's fantastic. Nothing finer than Scott Steiner.
That's great. Thank you so much.
I feel like this is framed, and I'm trying not, and the frame is sort of coming apart at the seams. I need to fix that. Oh, here we go. There's a letter. I'm going to read it. Hey, friendos, with work and life slowing down a little bit, I was finally able to send you guys this broken Matt Hardy autograph I got at House of Hardcore back in December in Philly.
Awesome.
Nice. I was able to meet the Broken One, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, Tony Nese, Colt Cabana, Blue Meanie, and Matt Stryker. Among seeing the performers in action, I saw you guys needed some more props from Newsplex, so I've been putting it off for a while and decided to manage the limited time I had to send out this portrait. Keep up the amazing work. I've been a fan since 10 for the win, before you guys showed your faces, and fell back in love with wrestling with Going in Raw. Thanks for all the amazing content, and I hope the portrait serves justice to you both. Take care for now. Signed, the Friendo Block Party. Block Party! World Champion Liam, the Triggered Troglodyte Wagner. Thank you very much.
so
I'm
much.
going to take a look at this here.
Oh man, that's
This
awesome.
is great. I'll reframe it because the frame sort of fell apart. But there it is, signed to Steven Larson. We have been deleted. So
We have been declared obsolete, huh?
yes, we have been.
Thank you very much, Liam Wagner.
Very much. Can be careful with that, guys.
This
so
is
it doesn't
from
get backed up.
Andrew J. How do you pronounce that?
Kwiatkowski.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome stuff today.
So let's see what we have here. Oh, another picture.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Yes. Beautiful. Lex Luger hoisting up. Hold on a second.
What?
Why is he hoisting that up? Why did? Whoa.
Maybe.
What?
No, he never won that.
I know.
Maybe he held it up after a match to tease a possible victory.
Oh man, he so thought he was winning this, and then he didn't. Oh man, look at his face. Poor Lex. Look at Lex. Do you think Lex is happy? You think Lex is happy right now at this very moment? What do you think Lex is doing right now? Probably watching like Wheel of Fortune or something. No, Wheel of Fortune. That's too early. What's the other one?
Price is Right.
Price is Right. Thank you. Yeah, you know me so well. Anyways, thank you all.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I can't wait for that. We're gonna keep up the ripped out magazine.
Oh yeah,
pinups. We are
for now.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of real estate to fill up there.
Lots of room up there for us.
But you know, when we start have to making decisions about what stays and what goes, that's the first to go.
Clayton C in the chat said, "I had no idea Lex was so good at Photoshop." Well, Alex C says that can't go on the Newsplex wall. It needs to go behind Larson in the Lex section.
That's a good point.
Election.
Yeah.
All right. So out of over 100 questions, we chose the 33 or 34
best
ones.
questions.
You go first.
Alberto L. Patreon. I almost
Alberto L. Patreon.
I almost said Alberto El Patron.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, friendos, after watching the UK Championship tournament and seeing 19-year-old Tyler Bate already having such a great wrestling style and character, it made me think, what would 19-year-old Steven Larson wrestling style's characters be? Also, consider the era you would be at this age to help influence this. Thanks, guys. So at 19, we're talking mid-90s.
Mike. We're talking mid-90s, baby. Oh, man.
So I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
19, so that'd be roughly around the birth of the NWO.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So I guess I would have to decide whether I would want to join the NWO or not.
Well, obviously you would, because they're the only people who got TV time.
And also, like everybody back then was joining the NWO.
But you know what? Back then, I mean, you still could be. You could have been in WCW's cruiserweight division. It's
true,
because you were built for that. Back then, I could have been in the cruiserweight division too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about 20 pounds over that right now. No, look, you know what? I'd rather be a Trent Seven than a Tony Nese. Anyways, let's see. What would our styles be like?
Well, I'd be a cruiserweight.
Yeah, you'd be a high flyer.
Yeah,
you'd be a high flyer. I like to think that even back then I'd be a bruiserweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a bruiser. I would literally just adopt a really bad English accent because that's all I can do. And I don't know what my name would be though. I'd need a British name. It would be what's a very British name? I feel like Nigel Forsyth.
Okay.
Sir Nigel Forsyth.
It's good.
I'm a bruiserweight.
It's good.
Listen to me. I'm gonna make a name for myself. Here in Steve W. Nigel Forsyth. Who do I have to talk to for a title shot and a sandwich? All right, anyways, moving on.
Yes.
Broken world champion Jacob Omega. The UK tournament was really cool. What competitors from the tournament can make a big impact on the main roster, and what would they do?
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, baby. That face is worth $1,001,000.
I still...
You love Mark Andrews, huh?
He's good.
Yeah.
He would, he could probably be in the cruiserweight division right now. Tyler Bates really good. As we talked about in our UK championship tournament recap,
Yeah.
we just worry about his size and how that will affect his future in the WWE going forward.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in chat right now are saying Tyson T-Bone. We got to get an interview with Tyson. Yeah, we got an interview. We're like, so Tyson, tell me about your experience in the UK tournament. Well, sort of, I don't know, dogs. Dog? Oh, I like dogs. Dags. Oh, dogs. Yeah, I like dogs. Eddie Jose Guevara Minivar. Eddie Jose Guevara Minivar.
He says, thanks for saying my name correctly.
No sweat. For that, I upgraded from $5 to $10 in the Patreon. See, look, my voice. Anyways, is he the one that I did the rolling R with? I wonder. Eddie Jose Guevara Minivar.
You didn't do it this time.
I'm blowing everybody out right now. I'm sorry.
His question is, what odd partnership do you guys want to see in the Royal Rumble match? He would love to see Goldberg and Lesnar team up to eliminate the third wheel of Braun Strowman. He thinks it would be unexpected and would keep Braun strong by being eliminated by two powerhouses. And he'd also love to see Goldberg and Lesnar team up and eliminate everyone just so they can have a one-on-one at the end with no distraction.
What odd partnership?
I don't think Goldberg and Lesnar are going to team up at any point.
Oh, no.
But if they did for a temporary partnership, doing so to eliminate Strowman would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them. I could see there being like 8 people in the ring, and then like Lesnar's already in there, and then Goldberg comes in, and then they both clear out the ring, and then have a face off until somebody else comes down. And like if Braun comes down, I could see them potentially maybe eliminating Braun just so they can go back at it with each other.
Yeah.
So I could see something fun like that. That is the great thing about the Rumble, though, is that you always get those little, and those stories are always so predictable but unpredictable, and that's what I love about them.
Well, they're you don't expect them to happen, but when they do, they make perfect sense.
Exactly.
Sort of like if Bray and Braun get in the ring, you expect something to happen.
Yeah.
You're not exactly sure what, but generally when it does happen, you say, okay.
Yeah.
And usually it's just for such a short amount of time, you kind of get excited about it, and then it's over, and then you move on.
Yeah, no, exactly. John Herkov, when do you see the New Day triple threat happening? As soon as Mania? No. Mania 35, maybe.
Maybe.
They're still super over.
Yeah.
I think like the majority of the crowd thinks that their face is still.
Yeah. Troy Inman, how do you think the Titus O'Neil angle will finish up?
With him, I mean, look, I would love to say it's going to finish up with him having a spot in the Rumble. I still think that's going to happen. Damn it. He's going to have a spot in the Rumble somehow. Is he going to get a win is he going to get any win in during his time feuding with the New Day? He has to, right? At least once?
I would like to think so. But the way he's being booked, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Me neither. You pronounce this next one. Let's see how good you are.
Dear.
And if you're not in practice for saying El Ingobernable de Texan.
Well, it'd be El Ingobernable de Teja.
De Teja. Oh, there you go. All
Adam
right.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
So Adam Mayhem changed his nickname just to hear Steve struggle to pronounce it correctly, but apparently you've been practicing. After watching your video on bloodiest matches, remembering the Brody incident, where's the legit scariest place you guys have ever been at?
So easy. And it's surprising that I haven't really given it more thought in terms of how bad that could have been.
Oh, yeah.
Especially given like the fairly recent thing that happened in Oakland with the warehouse that burned down and all those people died. It was so awful.
Yeah.
We went to an XPW show, and I know a lot of you guys might have heard, because we've talked about this every once in a while, but it's been a little while since we talked about it. We went to an XPW show, and XPW was Extreme Pro Wrestling. It was an ECW knockoff.
Based in Los Angeles.
Right, but they infused ECW with pornography because the guy who owned it was...
the pornographer, Rob Black.
Rob Black, he was a pornographer. And so they had... It was like borderline irresponsible hardcore matches.
I wouldn't even say borderline. That match that we're referring to, there was a couple of ones that were pretty irresponsible.
Okay, but my point is, like, if you look at that one in SoCal Uncensored, like, that's extremely irresponsible stuff. Like,
well, I would say, what you told me about that match, I didn't see it. But it seemed by and large it was the participants in the match being irresponsible with their own bodies.
No,
no, it wasn't. Okay,
because dude, I'm here. The ring is where the camera is, and they're using multiple the tubes.
Oh no!
So that shit can fly out at any time.
And that's the thing about the XPW show we were at, is that two guys were dueling with fluorescent tubes.
Yeah.
They break, and there's a shard about this long that goes flying out into the audience.
So it's all irresponsible.
And
it's all bad.
Thankfully, it eventually landed in the place where no one was sitting.
Yeah.
But when you got a shard of glass that long flying through the audience, that could have been really bad.
We were pretty close to the
action.
We
were like 5 rows.
We were like 5 rows back,
ring.
And they did a table fire spot, and the Veronica Kane was tasked with I think she was a porno actress, and she was also a wrestling valet manager, and she was tasked with dousing the table with lighter fluid. But she emptied this goddamn bottle onto the table, and I think it's online. You can probably see it. And the wrestler named Supreme, who was feuding with Veronica Kane's faction at the time, they dumped him on the table. They lit it on. They lit it on fire.
I think they had trouble lighting it on fire. That's why they kept on dumping.
That's
so much.
right. They kept on trying
fluid on it. Yeah.
And so the table went up. They did like a superplex, I think, Supreme onto the table, something like that.
But there's so much lighter fluid that when he went through it, usually the idea is that you go through the table, and the impact of you going through the table puts the fire out. But there was so much lighter fluid on it, and the flames were so intense that Supreme just got lit on fire.
Yeah, and it was like the fluid had soaked in.
Yeah.
And so he starts running around on fire. And when I think back to it, I'm like, man, if that was like in a different venue, if that fire somehow...
If it was at a smaller place, this was at the Olympic Auditorium in LA, which is actually a decent-sized place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a bigger place. But if it was like one of those little bingo hall places with like a low ceiling, when they have to watch out when they're doing the high-risk move or the high-flying moves.
I know.
That ceiling could have been
really bad.
Yeah, it could have been really bad. And so, but Supreme, he's on fire. They put out the fire on the table, and then they go find him, and he's running around, and people are dodging him because he's on fire. And they put him out, and he's got flesh burning off of his arm, and they put him on the stretcher, and they take him away.
Yeah.
They have the oxygen on him. And, that sucked. That was not fun to watch.
We stuck around for the rest of that show, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't leave in protest or anything, but I'm pretty sure we were all traumatized by it.
I felt like I wanted to leave just because it was so upsetting.
I really don't want. We literally almost saw a guy die.
Mm-hmm.
That could have happened easily. And there was a couple incidents in XPW. The scaffolding match.
Yeah.
The scaffold match.
Yeah.
People came very close to dying in that promotion. Let's see here. Will Taylor, first time patron. Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
I think your show is great. And
Thank
I love
you.
that Vince McMahon loves my impressions of Vince McMahon. Oh, well, thank you very much. So with that being said, if you were Vince, which lower mid-card talent would you push or put on TV more? I think it's good that Titus and Jinder have been on recently. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently dig that Bo Dallas mini push before it stopped. That's the answer for me is Bo Dallas. I think he's got him and Curtis Axel both have just a wealth of talent, and they need to be pushed. I love Curtis Axel, but I would say Bo Dallas.
No, I agree.
A million times
over.
Yeah,
when Will Taylor mentioned Bo Dallas in this question, that's the answer.
Bo Dallas.
Fat bastard champ Alex
Fat
Foster.
bastard champ.
Which cruiserweight should get their own belt, and what would the design be? Kendrick could have a cool belt.
Kendrick could have a really interesting looking belt.
Like get some of the fabric he uses for his pants
Yeah,
for the strap.
Yeah. Like a completely iridescent belt.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
That'd be cool.
Good answer. Colin, we heard the You Suck chants return when they started playing Kurt Angle's music as strong as ever. What are your favorite fan chants associated with a wrestler's entrance music, and what are your most hated? I think my favorite is when Fandango, that British crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Fandango, when he came out. Was the No, they're on the East Coast because it was after Mania.
It was not after Mania, yeah.
And that crowd just really, they started doing the Fandango, and they did it throughout the entire episode of Raw.
Yeah.
It was a couple of years ago.
I'll say this because he does a good job dealing with it. It's a heck of a lot of fun to sing John Cena Sucks to his theme song.
Oh, I know. No, totally. I agree with that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Broken Vince McMahon. Hey, friendos. First-time patron. Thank you very much. If you got an opportunity...
Speaking of which, I'm sorry. Speaking of patrons, I totally didn't do the patron pledges today. I'll do them at the head of the SmackDown episode.
Yeah. If you had an opportunity to join and become a member of any faction or stable in all of wrestling history, which would be your top 3? Broken Vince McMahon's would be DX, Bullet Club, and the Radicals.
Radicals, yeah.
Keep up the good work. You guys are too sweet.
I'd be in the Horsemen, man. I'd be in the Horsemen in a heartbeat because I think they live that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they live that shit. So I'd be in the Horsemen. I'd be in Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Yeah, that's my answer, too.
Give me another one.
Whenever we get faction questions, for some reason I always go to right to censor for some reason.
You always do. I
don't
know. It's weird.
Because it's funny to me.
That is funny. So I'd be in them. Oh, and of course, I don't want Bullet Club. I want Pachiti Club.
Oh, there you go. I don't know why I keep going to right to censor. It's just funny to me.
They just announced a big tournament.
Oh, yeah?
The World Wrestling League, Cup. The Cup is World League Cup or something like that. 64 wrestlers over 10 nights. Over 10 nights.
Wow.
I forget exactly when it is, but that
that's
should be
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah, it should be really neat. ECCW Jobber Champion Josh Crump. Am I the only one who's getting a little tired of Enzo and Cass? They seem to be in a bit of a rut.
Glorious Bill asked a similar question, and he follows it up with, after this feud with Jinder Mahal and Rusev, where do you see them going?
And thank you, Glorious Bill, for your patronage.
Yes, thank you very much.
He's first-time Patreon as well.
I think we both felt for a very long time that Enzo and Cass are just kind of biding their time until they get a chance at the tag championships.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
I'm like 60-40. That's still the case, but it used to be,
like 90-10.
90-10.
I know,
but I'm with you. I kind of feel like they're like being fast tracked to celebrity guys. Like they might deal with celebrities
for a bit until Cass begins the singles push.
Yeah, is that gonna happen? He's young.
I know.
He's lots of time.
I know.
I mean, it's odd. It's like it's like they take them for granted because like they know they can be over whenever they need to be. Whenever they want to be, they're over. They're super over. But I kind of feel like that needs to be rewarded, and I feel like they can make a lot more money off them if they push them. I don't know. Maybe they think. I mean, look, they're in a program with Rusev and Jinder Mahal. And Rusev is a big name. It's just it doesn't. There's nothing to it.
There's no stakes.
I don't even get why they're feuding, and why Rusev is supposed to be the heel there.
I know.
3-time German heavyweight champion, the Stahl Sheik Asadi. Which promotion do you think will one day be considered as an actual threat to the WWE? He says, we all know it won't be TNA, and New Japan still has that language barrier going on. Oh, speaking of which, you hear so Steve Corino is gone from because he's taking
working
a
at the
job
Performance Center,
at the Performance Center, and so they announced it's going to be Don Callis. What did he used to go by? The Jackal? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good. I'm going to miss Carino, though.
I know.
I'm going to have to go back and watch some more
They're,
of it.
Kevin Kelly and Carino's, you could tell they were friends.
It's so good. And you can tell that Carino was already at the point where he felt so comfortable just saying whatever. And I hope that that Don Callis gets there. I think that's his name, right? Don Callis? Am I tripping about that? This is when we do this. Yes, Don Callis. Thank you. Good job, me.
Good job, Steve.
Yeah. Jordan Gonzalez. Is there anything more hellish then more heelish.
We didn't even answer the previous question.
Actual threat to WWE? No, especially if they do stuff like there was I think Wrestling Observer and a couple other places reporting they're looking at bringing ICW to the network. If that's going to be what they're going to start doing, then man, no, it's just the network's going to be your one-stop shop for all your big indie stuff.
Yep.
We'll see.
Jordan Gonzalez. Is there anything more heelish than peeing in someone's cereal? Steve, what is this a reference to?
This is a reference to 10 for the Win, which is coming to an end this week. We're doing our last episode of 10 for the Win on Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. We used to do these intros for 10 for the Win where the comedic little short films.
Yeah, and one of them, I was eating a bowl of cereal, and I acted like it tasted off.
Yeah.
And you were giggling
Yeah.
on the opposite side of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then you admitted that you peed in my cereal.
That's
and
right.
that you were going heel.
That's right. And I took off
Reveal the homemade NWO shirt.
Exactly, yeah. And then you started eating the cereal with a great joy on your face. And I said, that's disgusting. Why are you doing that? You're grossing me out.
And I said to swerve you.
That was a good one. It was like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's funny.
Ron Simmons, damn. Most underrated theme? He always thought Ravens' WWE theme was amazing. What was Ravens? Wasn't that a ripoff of...
It was a ripoff of Even Flow in WCW.
Yeah.
I don't remember his WWE theme.
Oh, it says WWE theme. Yeah, I don't know.
I always like Taz's original WWE theme.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, it kind of sounds like Roman's theme now.
No, I know. I like that. I like the tempo. It would show like a bunch of
faster.
different Taz's on the screen.
Yeah.
Like you'd be on multiple.
It was really good.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is really good. You know, this is so embarrassing. Shane Douglas's WCW theme. Nobody would remember that. But for some reason, because for a second I was a big Shane Douglas fan.
Yeah.
I really liked his theme, and I tracked down the actual song.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual song, and I forget who actually performed it, like who the band was, and it's so bad. But for some reason, I would listen to it all the time. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude.
Jacob Castle.
Remember when Kane's theme had lyrics?
Yeah.
This is the fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob Castle. Going in Raw is hosting a dinner party at the Ann Larson household.
Woo!
You can invite anyone in the history of the pro wrestling business, and they are guaranteed to show up.
Guaranteed peed on.
This is a unique opportunity for Going in Raw. What guests do you invite? What meal do you prepare for them? And what questions do you ask? Personally, I couldn't resist inviting Undertaker, cooking him a mean steak, and discussing the business.
Yeah.
That's a good answer because I like to see him out of character.
I know. That's a really good answer. I'd invite Michael Hayes.
Just so you can do this with him.
So many good stories there. Yeah, and he'd do that for me. So many good stories. I mean, I would be like, hey, Michael, text me when you're outside. And then I would start playing the Bad Street music. And then he'd walk in, hopefully, and do that. I'm Michael Hayes. That's my answer.
Arn Anderson.
Oh, God. Amazing stories.
Yes.
Amazing stories.
What would I cook for our guests?
A giant mound of mashed potatoes. Everybody gets mashed potatoes.
I'm just trying to think of what I do well. Because I cook a good steak.
Oh, it'd be steak. Yeah, you'd have to cook them steak.
Yeah,
Who doesn't like steak?
I cook a good steak.
Wrestling guys are all steak guys, I feel. Unless they're vegans. The Greasy Strangler. Notice that Raw use cutbacks to the crowd more often. They cut to the crowd more often.
Yeah.
Which he finds distracting and annoying. You guys have little production annoyances that really get under your skin.
Still the crane on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I've gotten more used to it, but I
I've
still don't
gotten
like it.
used to that by
Still don't
now.
like it.
Little production annoyances. Like, oh, why'd they do that? The crowd
Too
thing,
many backstage segments.
Yeah. The crowd thing doesn't bug me too much. I actually find the crowd thing kind of amusing these days because they never get what they want.
No.
It's always like somebody reacts and the director says, cut to camera 2, and then they've stopped doing that thing.
Exactly.
So it's just random as hell.
Remember when the brand split happened and they were doing a lot of in-ring interviews right after matches?
Oh, I like that.
And they don't do that anymore,
I know,
really.
I really missed that.
Beast a la mode.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm a patron who's hopefully getting his first question read on air. Thank
There
you very
go,
much.
Beast a la mode.
So what are your guys' favorite finishers from past and or present? Beast a la mode always liked Van Damme's 5-star frog splash. And I currently like Cedric Alexander's lumbar check. Yeah, that move's great.
Yeah, it is.
Love the show. Later, Friendo Nation.
My favorite finisher right now in the present is the End of Days. I love that because people really sell for that shit. People really sell for that. I also really love the Famouser, and it's a shame that it was wasted on Billy Gunn because I really, really like that move. He would get so high up in the air.
I know.
He had such a vertical. Yeah, Billy Gunn, I feel, was just sort of wasted in general. Like that Mr. Ass thing. Like maybe it was just because he didn't have like great promo skills or something. Mm-hmm. He still is a hell of an athlete.
Oh yeah,
he was such a great, and he had a great look. He still looks amazing. It's just I just assumed that he didn't really have that. He was the guy who said he was the Cass who said he said, and if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you.
Yeah,
and that's all he would say.
Yeah. Favorite finisher? I mean, a good powerbomb is tough to beat.
Oh yeah, for sure. The jackknife. Yeah,
I think that Nash's powerbomb wasn't that great.
I would rather that than the Authors of Pain. The Authors of Pain looks like it fucking hurts.
Yeah, in terms of safety, yeah.
Yeah. That shit looks fucking vicious, man. Retired Dwayne Nix. I mean, nothing beats a stunner for me, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
The stunner is the best.
A well-delivered diamond cutter RKO ace crusher.
Just the stunner. The way Stone Cold
No, I
did
know.
that stunner.
But sometimes when Orton does the RKO out of nowhere, it's great.
Yeah, I'm still not into that. Retired Dwayne Nix. Do you guys think the club wins the tag straps of the Rumble, or does this feud last until Mania?
I think there's a better chance that they win him at the Rumble than getting him at Mania.
I think I agree with that.
Because they get him at Rumble, then they might think Sheamus, Cesaro at Mania.
Kind of a face thing, though, them getting screwed out of the title. You know what I mean?
I know. The South Texas Tiger.
Dan Cannon.
Hey, friendos, long-time follower, first-time patron. Thank you very much. First, thank you for helping me get back into wrestling after years. Dan Cannon has the fortune to be able to attend both NXT TakeOver San Antonio and Royal Rumble this year, and they will both be his first ever WWE events.
Nice.
And he says, sure, you've answered this question before, but what advice can you give him about going to shows? Just have fun.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty straightforward. Just have fun. I mean, there's not really, if there's a match that you're not really interested in, you want to get merch, then go during the match as opposed to during, like, if they have an intermission or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, there's not a lot of advice, to be honest with you.
Other than just have a good time.
Yeah, dress comfortably.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan, greetings, friendos from Edmonton.
Well, also,
Alberta.
he's a first-time patron.
I was about to say first-time patron. Thank you. I'm a long-time viewer of your content. Knew you guys would always have a space within my funny bone when you put an obscure Ryback stupid clip into one of your Machinima top 10s. My question is, who do you both believe will be in the final 4 of the Rumble? His guess is Balor, Strowman, Taker, Corbin.
He picks Finn to win.
And he picks Finn to win.
We can kind of give a final 4 right now, but we can change in our official predictions episode.
Okay.
Strowman
with the win.
Undertaker.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3 of these I might have picked. Strowman, Taker, Corbin. And if Finn's going to have a program with Taker, that's a really good final 4.
Oh yeah, it is.
I would say,
but we don't know if Finn's going to be healthy enough to participate, though.
I would say this. I have a feeling Rollins might be in the final 4 because I think he's going to get so close and then get eliminated.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe take Balor out. Put Balor out and add Seth.
Yeah.
And I would say take Taker out and add Y2J.
Yeah.
And potentially maybe Owens Cossum somehow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm going to say Strowman. I'm going to say Strowman, Undertaker, Rollins, Jericho.
Yeah. Wait, did we say what? Taker, Strowman, Rollins, Jericho?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. And he also says W. Steve W. for life. Too sweet. Australia's finest patron, Husky Harris.
Great content lately, as always, guys. Keep it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm also moving my patron from $1 to $50
Whoa,
next week.
You get the shirt. You get the shirt. You're on the list.
Husky Harris's question is, if you could have gone back in time 3 times to change the finish of the Royal Rumble, who would have won instead of the actual winner? For example, instead of Sheamus winning, have Y2J win. That's a great example. That's one that I would have changed for sure.
Yeah, that's a great one. Instead of Roman Reigns winning, it would have been instead of Batista winning, it would have been Daniel Bryan that year. I mean, he had a great road, but I think it would have been better if he won the Rumble.
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
Instead of having Triple H win last year,
Yeah.
have Dean Ambrose win.
Oh, yeah. I know. That would have been good.
And he could have had Dean versus
There
Reigns
was
as the main
no
event of
reason for
WrestleMania.
Triple H to have had that title. There was no reason for that.
He could have had. I mean, I understand in terms of storyline why
Any
they did
number
it.
of proxies.
They could have had a proxy represent him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dominic Hilberg. I know it's a long shot, but Sami Zayn is my dark horse pick to win the Rumble. It's not that bad a pick. If not this year, I definitely see him as a way too early favorite for next year. What do you two think about Zayn's future with the Rumble? He will win the Rumble one day.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but he will run.
Yeah.
Hope if he doesn't get injured, he's going to win the Rumble.
Yeah, chances seem good.
Yeah.
The one and only true Meatloaf champion, M. Andrews. Hey, friendos, first-time patron here. Thank you, long-time listener. You guys make the workday fly by.
Nice.
Anyway, with the constant shift in characters, who do you think is most likely to turn heel or face on each brand, and who would benefit most from their respective turns?
I think an AJ face turn is inevitable.
Matter of time.
Yeah. And I think he would benefit greatly from that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my big answer.
Yeah, I think I agree with you completely.
Ryan Dennehy.
Oh, we'll probably get a Jericho face turn for the Owens-Jericho feud, too.
For sure. Ryan Denny, hey, friendo, since Tyler Bate won the UK Championship yesterday and he is part of Mustache Mountain, arguably one of the greatest tag team names I've ever heard. I agree. Up there with the Mighty Don't Kneel. What is your favorite tag team name of all time? What's your favorite tag team name? You can't argue with Harlem Heat. That's a really good name.
That is a good name.
Yeah. Let's see here. I always hated the name The Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah.
I always hated that name.
I always thought the Ascension is a good name.
That is a really good name. That's a really good name. The Hollywood Blonde's a good name. What was the Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace, the Dynamic
Dudes?
That's a terrible name.
Yeah.
Yeah. XFL champion Tyler Harville. Hey, friendos, first time patron here. Thank you
very
Tyler.
much.
Do you guys think anyone from the UK tournament will show up on Raw or SmackDown in the next few months? He would personally love to see Wolfgang on SmackDown.
I don't know if they'll show up on broadcast television, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from the tournament, specifically Tyler Bate, showed up for the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I could see. He says Wolfgang on SmackDown. Something about that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I could see something like that.
But I think if they're going to try to do a weekly UK show, then they'll keep the UK talent.
Yeah, but you know what? It would kind of make sense to send like a representative from that.
Oh, I understand.
To kind of
Yeah.
shout out to it a little bit.
I understand.
MCC from the Black Country. First time patron. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings from the UK and a massive congrats to my fellow Black Country boy Tyler Bate for winning the UK tournament. Sorry, I'm doing that accent. Do you guys feel the WWE will now run an NXT-esque style of programming for the UK scene, or is this a Vince power play? But the UK scene on notice that he's coming for their talent.
Yes to both.
Yes to both. I'd be really into it if they brought ICW to the network. It'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. James Geeves.
Geeves.
First time patron. Hey, friendos. After watching the UK Champ tournament, I am pleased to say the talent in the UK wrestling scene has shown. Excuse me. Do you think we will see any of these guys showing up at the Rumble? Oh, for guest appearances. Yeah, Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's at the Rumble.
Only because he won, though, but I want to say something like Pete Dunne might happen, too. Like, you know, Pete Dunne, or Tyler Bate won the title, so send Pete Dunne to the Rumble. You know, something like that. Man, I love that dude.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. Blanchy. Hey, friendos, first time asking a question here. So with Kurt Angle going in the Hall of Fame, what are some of your guys' favorite
good
matches or moments from Kurt Angle?
He mentions the milk truck.
Oh, it was great.
Um,
Kind of want to hold off on this. We might do a count out on it.
Okay.
Got to do some research, but Kurt Angle coming back is big news.
That's huge news.
But let's just we'll give one. We'll give one.
Apart from the milk truck.
Apart from the milk truck.
Oh, all of his backstage segments with Stone Cold, man.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think is going to induct him? First name, I thought it was Stone Cold.
Who would induct? Shane McMahon. They had some great matches, or they had that one great match anyways.
Yeah.
Stone Cold would make total sense. I would love that.
Yeah.
God, I would love that.
Sean
McMahon.
Sean
first
McMahon.
time Patreon.
Thank you.
He says, no, I'm not related to Mr. McMahon.
First off, why do they keep putting off the inevitable Rollins-Triple H feud, and what is going to happen now that Kurt Angle is in the Hall of Fame? Will he still be able to wrestle or no?
We got too much paperwork to fill out. I'm trying to get all these guys.
I mean, he's flying all over the world putting on these tournaments.
He personally oversees the contracts for the UK. He's like, there's 16 people that I got to deal with now.
You got to negotiate with everybody.
Everybody. Look, I want to pay you $15,000.
Yeah, it's odd that He hasn't showed up on TV since that Raw 5 months ago.
Man, what the heck? Let's get that
It's
moving.
really disappointing.
Yeah.
They're going to try to jam 6 months of story into like 3 weeks of Raw leading up to Mania. It's going to be annoying.
Curtis Scott, first-time patron here. Do you think if the Young Bucks were to come to WWE, would they go straight to main or NXT, and how would you book their debut?
I'm basing my answer off a tweet from the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said to them...
it's a crime you're not on WWE.
Yeah, they say, it's not a crime. I've been with my family for 3 straight weeks, and something about working a couple days and then spending 3 straight weeks with their family.
Hard to give that up.
So NXT.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah. It would be hard to give that up, man.
Yep.
I love this name, Kit Kat Katcha. So I totally didn't realize I was at Maryland the same time as Mojo Rawley, which is awesome, but I digress. She's like, I'm in Maryland. I feel like Mojo Rawley's here somewhere. Sure enough, he was. Let's see here. My question kind of stems from that and the Bailey segment during last night's show. If you can go back in time and offer any current superstar one piece of advice at the beginning of their career, who would it be and what would you tell them?
I would tell Shawn Michaels to stretch before his matches.
Yeah, I know. Just stretch. Because he said that was such a big deal.
Yeah.
He said, I just started stretching before my matches. And then he was fine for another 5 years.
Yeah.
Go back in time and offer any current superstar one piece.
Oh, it has to be current. Oh, sorry.
No, that was a good answer, though. One current superstar. I would go back in time and tell Titus O'Neil, just don't touch Vince McMahon. Don't grab him by this. Just don't do anything. I know that you feel a kinship with him. Don't do it.
That's good advice.
You don't like people touching him.
That's good advice.
Nicole 9-Volt Lee. What's up, friendos? How long do you legitimately think it'll be before we see Finn Balor and AJ Styles feud?
Within the next 2 years, I would think.
I would say within the next 12 months because the rumors are Vince wants AJ on Raw. I want to see him. You imagine him, the club, and Finn
I know.
all on the same brand. What does that mean? What does it mean?
Imagine
I don't know what it
if
means.
At some point, Kenny Omega
Oh
enters
my
that
God!
scene too.
Oh,
My goodness.
Ty Perez.
Ty
We're going to
Perez.
close out with Ty Perez, and we got Kayfabe Corner.
Do finishers make matches too predictable? Would matches be more exciting if they finish them with other moves like signature moves or other random moves?
I think you can look at a lot of the New Japan matches and see how they treat finishers.
Yeah.
And understand that the Rainmaker. Not like it's not that special of a move. It's just a clothesline.
Basically, nobody kicks out of
but
it.
nobody kicks out of it.
Tanahashi did, and then Kenny Omega did. And I think that's it.
And you had Kenny Omega reversing them, and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't think they make him too predictable. I think if used properly, I mean, it all goes in how you use it. If used properly,
Yeah.
it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, you can use it to tell some interesting stories.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Are you ready?
Sure.
So
I'm really hungry right now.
Same as last week.
Same list? I should
Oh
do
God!
well.
Don't look at that. Stop looking
Well,
at
move
my
your
shit.
computer.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking straight
You're
ahead.
just staring at my computer. You son of a bitch. Why am I on this? I need to be on my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiot. Oh, what do you think about that?
Oh, that's good.
It's okay. It's good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I like that.
Okay. What is Kayfabe Corner?
It is only the greatest pro wrestling trivia challenge of all time. 12 names.
Yeah.
Are you doing 6 real, 6 fake?
No. I'm doing. What did you last time?
I did
you did
5 real,
5 and 5 and
5
2.
and 2 wild cards.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Okay.
I need to find.
What are we going to do for
here it
lunch
is.
today?
We'll talk about that during the bonus show.
Okay, that'll be our bonus show discussion.
Yeah, exactly. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Let me just make sure you have one. Yeah, I've got 12.
Okay.
And 2 bonus questions.
All right, good.
All right. So last week, I thought it was my week, and so I posted up a thing on the Patreon
Correct.
saying Booker T or Rick Steiner, because they were the last 2 WCW U.S. champions, and with the U.S. title changing hands last week. Booker T won. Some of these are actually from early WCW. So I didn't exactly stick with Booker T. But anyways, number 1.
1.
Wendy Gilbert.
Real.
Fake. Davey Rich.
Real.
Very good. Pez Watley.
Real.
Very good. Cole Huffman.
Fake.
Very good. Jack Victory.
Fake.
Real. Willie Dwayne.
Real.
Fake. Georgie T.
You spell that?
Georgie and then T, just with a T.
That seems fake. Fake.
Fake. Cougar J.
Real.
Very good. Pancho Villa.
Real.
Very good. Wyland Scotts.
Spell the first name?
Weiland.
Real.
That's fake. It's just Scott Weiland's name backwards.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that somewhere.
Tom Branch.
Real.
Very good. Richard Blood.
Oh, that's real.
Oh, you know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Steamboat.
8.
That's Ricky Steamboat's real name.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right. 2
8.
trivia questions.
Okay.
Because I'm up on you. I'm up on you.
Yeah, by 6.
By 6. Number 1. Booker T and Stevie Ray were known as Harlem Heat. What were they first known as?
I have no idea. The Huffman brothers.
Ebony Experience. That was our first tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. What's the name of Booker's autobiography?
Can you dig it? Is that it?
No. Good
What is
guess.
it? What is it?
Booker T, From Prison to Promise.
Oh.
So it's more of a heartwarming story
Yeah.
as opposed to,
I was just
can
trying
you dig it?
Well, I was trying to think of one of his catchphrases.
No,
'cause
I
a
know.
lot of
That's
other
good.
wrestlers-
That's a better guess than I would have had.
A lot of wrestlers use catchphrases for their book titles.
So what am I up by now?
I got 8,
You got 8.
so I'm up 2 right now.
You're up 2, but
Next week will be even, like in terms
exactly,
of number of turns.
So
going.
I'm still doing good. I'm going to kill it next week.
Good. I hope you do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I want you to do well, Steve.
I want to do well too. I want you to do poorly.
I'm happy we're in agreement.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for now. Stay tuned for the bonus episode, you patrons. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.